Shoes are prisons of the feet. Your feet are meant to be free, just like your hands. Our ancestors walked 5 to 20 miles per day with no shoes or with natural footwear that let their feet expand. In this video, I'm going to break down the anatomy and physiology of our feet, the negative impact of shoes on our bodies and our feet, and then how we can fix this. Stay tuned on this episode of Primal Talk. Barefoot is best. The anatomy of your foot. The human foot is composed of 3 separate parts: the ankle, or your hind foot. The talus connects to the fibula and the tibia, creating the ankle joint. Your calcaneus is your heel bone. The hind foot is 7 total bones. Then you have your instep, or your midfoot. These 5 bones, bound together through ligaments, create the arch in the ball of your foot. And then you have the toes, or your forefoot. Each toe contains 3 phalanges, except for your big toe, which has 2. These 14 bones create your toes. This is a better view of the muscles of the lower leg. There are over 100 muscles, ligaments, and tendons responsible for the movement of the foot. The most important ones being the tibialis anterior and posterior, gastrocnemius, soleus, calcaneal tendon, and your fibularis brevis and tertius. Superficial means closer to the skin, and deep means closer to your bone. Physiology. This means how it works. The muscles of the calf are the primary movers for the ankle joint. The tibialis is responsible for dorsiflexion. The calcaneal tendon is responsible for plantar flexion. The smaller muscles of the foot, such as the tibialis, fibularis, and extensors, are responsible for supination, pronation, and other movements such as wiggling your toes. There are telltale signs and symptoms of a weak and strong foot. A weak foot will have a collapsed ankle, a flat foot with little to no arch, and 0 toe strength, or you just can't move them very well. A strong foot has an aligned ankle, slight arch to the foot, and good toe dexterity, meaning you can move them around. Now that you're aware of the anatomy and physiology of our feet, let's take a look at how shoes have negatively impacted the shape and size of our feet. This figure is commonly displayed when it comes to shoes and foot health. Shoes are created with little room to wiggle our toes, weakening the muscles, ligaments, and tendons of our foot. Whoever designed shoes had no idea how the foot actually works. Most modern shoes limit the foot's natural ability to move. You can clearly see the differences from Figure 1 and Figure 2. Which foot looks stronger to you? Not all shoes are created equal, though. Just by looking at this shocking image of a Vivo barefoot on the bottom compared to a Nike on the top, you can see the physical differences of the alignment of the foot. Wearing shoes daily will lead to weak feet over time. Weak feet will eventually lead to weak ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. Your feet are the foundation of your body. We must ensure they are strong and able to carry the load of our weight. I truly believe that most of these conditions, musculoskeletal, skin, hair, and nail conditions, are caused by shoes. As you can see, we have arthritis, bunions, which is, it looks very similar to that figure on one of the recent slides, gout, which is inflammation in the joints, flat feet, plantar fasciitis, blisters, diabetic ulcers, verrucas, athlete's foot, which is a fungus, ingrown toenails. We have corns and calluses, and then fungal nail infections. If you go barefoot, you're not going to get any of these. Your feet will be strong and healthy. Besides some of the physical conditions that shoes can cause, one negative effect of wearing shoes too much is the lack of touching earth. There's no more spiritual connection anymore. A lot of people are afraid to touch grass. I'm someone that when I go on a walk, I want my feet and I want my toes in the ground. I want to get them dirty. A lot of people are afraid of that, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if they're afraid of parasites or fungus or bacteria in the ground, but some of that stuff is good, and our bodies need to touch it. You need to touch grass with your hands and your feet and your body. It's very beneficial for you. And the earth, there's this thing called grounding, where the earth absorbs your negative energy, and in return you get the positive energy from the earth, sort of an electron transfer. Some people don't believe in that, but I do. I think that after I touch grass with my feet, I go on a walk with Daisy here, that I feel a lot better. It's like an antidepressant. I do feel like all my negative energy is gone. So the only way we can fix these issues is by going barefoot. You don't need to wear shoes as much as you think you do. And, we all have jobs. We have to go places. We have to go to the store where no shoes, no shirt, no service. So you can purchase shoes that are wide toe box. I have a few examples here. This is a Vivo Barefoot. Look at how elastic this is. I can crumple this up. Most shoes can't do that. Take your Nike shoe, your Air Jordans, or your Yeezys, and try to do that. That's not happening. And then this goes right back to its original shape. It's like it didn't even happen. I've had these for a few years now. They're in sort of rough condition, but these are just my gym and work shoes. I do a lot of things in them. And then I have another pair of Vivo Barefoots. These are all weather. They're waterproof. They're not as elastic. They're a little thicker material, but they're still awesome. Still great. And then for sandals, summer weather, you can get yourself something like this. These are Zero shoes. Zero has a lot of great products as well. You see, I can crumple it up just like that. That's what you want to look for in a shoe. And you also want to look for this wide toe box. Wide toe box. That gives your toes room to spread out like that. Give your toes some room to wiggle. A lot of people will buy lacrosse balls or just like a tennis ball, and you could roll the bottom of your foot out on that. That can help break up any loose tissue or tight tissue in your foot, because sometimes our feet get tight from wearing shoes too much or not using the muscles, the small ligaments and tendons of our feet. Exercising with no shoes, that's very good. I do all of my compound lifts, deadlifting, squatting. Sometimes I'll bench without shoes just to get a better grip on the ground. But running, I love to run with no shoes. I can't stand running with shoes unless it's very cold out, because that helps keep my feet warm. But when it's summer, when it's warm spring, fall even, I will go run on the trails. Try not to run on pavement. Kind of scuffs up my feet a little bit. But trail running for sure. Get in the mud, get in the dirt, the grass. It's going to feel very good on your feet. I run my hill sprints with no shoes. Only when it's really cold out, I'll put shoes on. But I definitely prefer to run them with no shoes. Get my feet on the grass, strengthen my feet. Your feet are your foundation. You can Google some exercises. I know people they scrunch their toes to strengthen the muscles on the bottom of their foot. Then they'll do splaying, where you can splay your fingers like this. They can splay their toes. That helps strengthen your feet a little bit. You can strengthen your calves. So any calf pressing or calf raises. Just being conscious of how much you're wearing your shoes. If you don't need to wear shoes, don't wear them. Take them off. Sometimes even socks can limit the connection between the ground and your feet. So go barefoot more. That's all it takes. Take the shoes off, get rid of them, buy some wide toe box shoes. You don't have to completely eliminate shoes. Like I said previously, I know they're necessary and I know you need them, but just be conscious. That's all it takes. Your feet are your foundation. They are your roots. They are the first thing that touches the ground. They are your only connection with the ground all day, unless you're an animal and you're walking on your hands and feet, your hands as well. So just be conscious. Your feet touch the ground. They are your only connection with the earth all day. The earth is a very powerful being. Be just conscious. Ditch the shoes. Walk barefoot more. That's all. Stay primal.